Hello guys, welcome back for another video, and in this one we're gonna see how to create a simple website using Hugo. And this video is the first of the series, and in this one we are gonna see how to install and use Hugo to create such website that I will just show you now. It's just a basic example that you will be able to do just now. There's many examples that you can take from the Hugo website. They provide like a lot of theme, but by the end of this video, you'll be able like to create this website and also change the content based on like your own personal education project and experience. Okay, so now let's go before like giving you more detail about like how to install and to use Hugo. I want to like basically give you some like motivation about why and how to use Hugo. So usually when you want like to create websites, there is quite some issue with common like let's say framework that we have today. So most CMS that you want to work with to build websites such as blog or portfolio websites, they are very slow, and the site is not very performant. It's like most of the time they're like it's a headache to just like set up the thing with databases and all like login and stuffs. And the cost for maintenance is very high. So we want to like avoid those problems with like Hugo. So that's where like we meet Hugo, and Hugo is specifically very fast, and it is very solid. There is like almost no security vulnerability since it do not rely on any databases. And Hugo is written in Go, and you do not need to have Go installed in your system to work with it. But if you have Go inside, you will be able to use more feature of Hugo, specifically modules and some like advanced feature of Hugo. And what makes very special Hugo is that there is like almost zero dependency. Just need to have like an executable inside your PC, and then ready to go. All the content can be written down from like for your website in Markdown, which is like a very easy format to use. And there is like a lot of team that were developed by the community. So I will show you this like just a couple of minutes. So it's some kind of like template website that you can take on and update at your art content, and also provide also a way to write content with YAML, uh, JSON, XML, etc. It's very developer friendly in the term of like you can like develop in live session and see the change. It's very fast to reload, so that's very nice feature. Like if you want to make sure that once, for example, you change some CSS property and you want to change some content, the site is like going live in live preview and updating live. And the last thing is the deployment. Deployment is very easy. You can deploy it using GitHub pages, Netlify, and most of the time it will involve like some kind of GitHub workflow, which is quite easy to maintain and create. And in the second video, we will do this. Basically, we will try to deploy this website using GitHub pages. And most of like the development technique that there is currently for Hugo are using like free methods. So GitHub page is free, and Netlify is free for most of like the Hugo website that you have, which contain like not that much data on it. Okay. And basically the Hugo workflow involves three steps. The First one, we write the content in Markdown, we build the website, and then we deploy. That's the cycle of any content creation using Hugo. And this is automated, basically. What we want to do is, once we write the content in Markdown, we commit, we push. Once we push, what we do is we want to make sure that with a GitHub workflow, this will be deployed automatically. And this will be the subject of the second video of this series. And obviously, why to choose Hugo? So just to remind, it was for the speed, security, the scalability, and the cost. For the scalability is one of like the fastest static generator website. You can write up to like hundreds of articles, and the speed will be almost the same, milliseconds to create. So that's very, very, very nice. And it's perfect for blogs, portfolio documentation, and landing page. And that's what we're gonna see later on the team. You'll see some example for blogs, portfolio, documentation, and landing pages. And there is like two comments to like know by heart. The first one is like Hugo new site, like basically create an empty site, and then Hugo server to make sure that your site is rendered using the server. It will be a local host with defined port inside your. You'll be then able to see this in your browser. And the next thing is we need to add a theme inside the website, and I will show you then like what to do it. Okay. And more specifically, in this video, we will see how to set up and install, and how to use a theme and customize this theme by using like specific property inside the YAML configuration file, and to change Markdown file to reflect inside the content of the website. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll basically go to the Hugo website and try to see what I've talked about like from now. So this is the Hugo website. What we could do first is so you need to go to gohugo.io to go to the Hugo website. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the full repository for all the team. So basically, you can try everything. Every other team are working with Hugo, and those are like quite nice to try. There is like a popular ones. This one is quite popular. It's like for mainly for blogging. You can also have like a site for portfolios. We'll be using this one, the one that I showed like at the beginning of the video. And yeah, most of the time when you want to showcase your skills and what you do, especially if you like your bachelor, master, PhD, those one are quite nice. Those two. There's also this one also quite nice. This one also quite nice for showing like your education, publication, and project skill. And yeah, so you can choose whatever the one you like. This video will choose this one, but we could have chosen like any of those. The idea is the same. I will explain to you like how to like basically set up the theme. But first, what we need to do is to install. What are the steps to install? So we go to the documentation, and we go to installation. Since I am on Windows, so yeah, go /installation. I am on Windows, so I will be showing you the step on Windows, but it's basically the same process for Linux and Mac OS. What you need to do is you need to go to this page and most of the time you need previously in your system Git and Go to make sure that you take full capabilities of Go and Hugo inside your website. And this will involve going to the GitHub and installing the zip file, the pre-built binary, and just adding to the path the executable that you just downloaded. And we'll do this like in live session to just show you the process. Already I like you go inside my PC, but I will show you like just delete the one that I have and replace it. Show you how to add this to your environment variable, and then you see that the Hugo is basically set up. So we go to latest release. It will like make us go to their GitHub with like the full page with the release. And for example, we could take like maybe I don't know, maybe this one. Take this one, and what you want to do is you want to check your system, depending on the system, and you want to download. If you're on Windows, you want to either download this one. Inside it will be inside the zip will contain some files, some README, and Hugo executable that we need to place inside a folder inside our PC, and make sure to add this path to our environment variable. So what we do is just download this. Okay, that's great. We made the download. And now let's check what is inside the download. Yeah. So just like extract all, just extract all here. Okay, cool. So if I double click, as you can see, there's like an executable named Hugo. There's like license and there's a readme. And what you need to do is basically like place this Hugo inside a folder of your PC, whatever you want. In my case, I have this inside a folder called Hugo. Hugo, yeah. Here it's inside bin, and this is the actual executable with like the license and the README. Okay, and just to show that the Hugo is currently working, what we do is just go to the shell. Okay, and to see if your installation is went well, what you do is you will go and type like Hugo version, and it will basically give us the name of the version. Okay, so now if I did this and I like recreate shell and I type Hugo version, it should not work since my Hugo is nowhere to be found. Yeah, so the term Hugo is not recognized. That makes sense. And there is like two things to do. First one is the thing that I mentioned is having this inside. So let's copy. So it was in bin, did copy. And the next things to do is to make sure that we edit the environment variable. So you go to your environment variable, click here, And what you need to do is you go to path and you want to edit. In my case, I already have added to the path. So as you can see, there is like this C Hugo pin that directly point to this executable. But in your case, what you do is you need to find the path that you are in. So Control R will give you the path that led to this. And what you do is you basically add a new one and you tap the path. That's it. You copy the path. In my case, it was this one. Okay. So for example, let's say I made a mistake. I have like some letters to make sure that the path is wrong. Click add, click OK, click OK on. So even if the Hugo is present, now this should still not work. Okay, so let's type Hugo version. Yeah, so should not work. Yeah, still not recognized because the path, the environment, the variable, the environment variable is not well set. And the only thing that we need is make sure that this path is correct. And just Control Alt copy. And then we do is we go to edit system environment variables. We go to path, edit. And since I already told you I have one, what I do is just edit and make sure that this one is correct. Copy, paste, click OK, OK. And now what I do is I'll just like create another shell and type Hugo version, and this now should be working. Hopefully. So Hugo version, and now it's working completely fine. So the installation was successful. Okay, so that's it for the installation. So now what we will be doing is going to VS Code first to create an empty website. Okay, so now we are in VS Code, and to create an empty website, what we do is the following. You go new site followed by the name, so let's call it like blog. This will create like a folder with this structure. Okay, and what we need basically is to fill this theme folder with the actual theme that we want to choose from the theme section that we saw earlier. Okay, but before this, what we do is to make sure that we get init the project. So I made a mistake. I initially did the git inside the URL. I should have like init inside blog. So cd into blog, git init, git add everything inside it, git commit, and this will be initial commit. Okay, that's great. So everything is tracked. And now what we need to do is basically going back to the theme, and I will show you who like to basically download the theme that you want. Okay. So let's go back to the website, go to team, go to like it was in portfolio, and it was this one. Okay. And most of the time when you go to a team, you will see those information, the license, the number of like GitHub stars, the license update, the one that made it, and some text that will be able like to give you some idea of what the website is about, and those two buttons. Sometimes there's just one, there's no demo, and the download button will uh, redirect you to the GitHub. So I click to the GitHub, and to use any team, the process is the same. What you need is basically copying the team. You can copying like using git clone or git submodule. In this case, what we'll be using is just git clone. Just clone this repo. And the two other things that we need to make sure is to look for something that is called example site. And why this is important is because example site give us the actual structure of the content inside the website. And the most important file, which is the configuration file for the team. So each team has its own configuration file, and each team has its own way to create content and blog and articles. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are gonna just like git clone this. Okay. So now just clone this inside the team. So cd inside team and just git clone this one. Okay. But before this, just gonna show you something. If I just type like Hugo server, this should work, but no website that will be able to see, no website. Just be like a normal local host. So if I click on it, you will see that it will not give anything. So now let's click on it and go to localhost. Make sure that it's working properly. So just copy the link. Yeah. So now, as you can see, localhost is rendering this page not found, which is normal since there is no team and there is no link to any team inside the website, inside the directory. So now what we need is to make sure that there is a connection between the actual website and the folder. Okay, so let's go back to VS Code, and now what we are gonna do is we are gonna git clone the team inside the team folder. So git clone. Yeah, so I need to go back and I need to copy the name of the team now. Yeah, let's copy it. And so git clone, it will clone the team inside. And since this team provide the example site, which is quite nice, we can like delete this one. This content is, since it's empty, and replace it with those two files. So we can replace static, which is empty, and content, which is also empty. Okay. And as I mentioned, the most important file is this Hugo YAML that we will copy and replace by this one. And most of the time, by default, is Hugo create timer. So what you just need to do is rename it YAML and just like copy the full configuration. Do not need to like understand the full configuration for now. Just need to make sure that the team is pointing to the actual name of the team. And then inside it, you'll be have like some configuration for the menu, or you want to write stuff. And there is like all the configuration like title, description. Some are like easy to understand. For example, this one is just to make sure that you can write LaTeX equation inside your blog and article. Probably a thing to animate or not the first page, and so forth and so on. So most of the time when you go to the actual GitHub, the developer explain the how to customize and what is like different feature inside the configuration. But most of the time, just use the base one and then try to like go either like do it yourself and check it, like try to change it, play with the website, or directly go to the documentation that the developer made to try it like to customize the website. Okay. So let's go back to VS Code, and now that we are set up, what we can do is basically render the website. Okay, so now let's just go back. Now if I go and I type Hugo server, it will take maybe some time, but there is actually no content inside the website since those two are empty, content and static. But the website should change and give me like new pages with some CSS and some pages about like the at least the menu, but the content should be empty. And to add the content, what we'll do is basically go to the example site and just copy those two instead of like copy those two to replace content and static. Okay, so let's just delete this one and also delete this one. And I think yeah, should have like deleted during the process, but yeah, let's just like redo the process. And now, as you can see, there is something. So let's go to localhost and check. And now you should be able to see the actual website. So yeah, that's the new localhost. As you can see, did change. Before it was this. Now it is this one. There's still something. So if I go to experience, there is stuff. So this is probably inside the. If it is inside, it's probably meant that the experience and education was inside the Hugo.yaml in the configuration file, which is nice. But if I go to blog, probably this is not found. So there is nothing. If I go to project, so if there is, it means that it was inside the YAML, which is great because like it means that there is not that much content to add. And as you can see, this is fully functional. You can add your resume, I guess, with like linking to your PDF, GitHub, X and some website that you have. Let's see if gallery is working. Gallery is not working either since there is no content. And let's see, achievement is kind of working, but there's I guess no images. And to make sure that those are working, what we'll do is just like I mentioned, we will just add the content inside. And to do so, let's just copy it. You need to make sure to go to an example site since the developer made the task easier. It just added inside the theme the example site, but some of the developer do not add the example site inside the theme, so you need to check inside the repo where they point to the example site. Most of the time they do. And just copy the content folder and the static folder if there is one. Just copy, and then what do we do? Just paste here, console, and we will rebuild. Okay, so now let's just see what the website look like now. And now it's much better. It's like icon images. If we check the old one, there is no images, no nothing. And now if I check the new one, which is the last version, there's an images, there is like icons, there is like images for the project. It's quite nice. There's also images for achievements and recent posts, which is quite it's much more like prettier and well more organized. If we go to probably to blog and gallery, there is now probably one. So yeah, as you can see, there's like images, quite nice. And the blog post should be like, yeah, should have like pages inside it. And for example, if we go to this one, we'll be able to see the actual images and the blog post, which is well made. Okay, and I will just show you like how you can basically change the content of the website. So you can change the content of the website using this one first. As I mentioned, like there's like directly the experience, education, and so on can be directly changeable here. So for example, let's say I do have like instead of a master, I have like a PhD. And let's say work at Google instead of Apple, and work like at Meta instead of like Amazon. I guess I work at Meta and Facebook. And if, for example, I want to change like some content, so let's say that I think it was this one that we looked at. So let's say some section, and this is meant to be used for blog post. Let's try some equation, and what we can do is we can basically try to use the way the documentation say, and to write in LaTeX. What we do is use $sign, and what we'll be doing is basically writing some equation, say x plus 2 equals y, basically equation, affine one, linear one, and let's see if the change was updated inside the website. And just I will show you like what I did inside the VS Code. So what I did is I changed this inside VS Code. So I went to blog and I went to math and I changed this section. So if we rebuild, it will be added. And also inside the Hugo, I made sure that to change where the experience was before it was like in Amazon, and also change this one. It was in Apple, but let's like make sure that we change Google X example, and instead of Meta, we'll say X, and here we'll say Meta instead of Facebook, since this is like correct now. And if we go back to the website now, we should be able to see the change. Just need to reload the page. So let's go back to the. Okay, so okay, clicks. So it did not change. Let's just rebuild everything and make sure that those change. Okay, just rebuild everything. So if we go to VS Code and then we rebuild, now let's see. Let's rebuild. Okay, and let's go back to the website and let's just like clean all of this. Yeah, as you can see, there's like Meta X, Google X, which is like a mix that I made. So change this. It wasn't PhD. It wasn't like it was master, I guess. I added PhD inside it, and if we go back to blog and go to the things, as you can see, there is like the section that I added. Just quite like simple, but as you can see, it works very nice, very well made. There's like a search also, I guess. So if I type maths, should be able to see the blog post about math, and should be working with all the blog posts, I guess. Yeah, that's quite nice. Okay, yeah. So that's it for the video, guys. I will let you like go and check for yourself. If you need help, like just like drop a comment down below in the comment section. And I will now let you guys with two other videos that I made, like for Markdown. Because basically, if you want to update the content, you need to master Markdown. I made a video about Markdown, and I also made a video about like how to use Markdown to convert Markdown to Jupyter Notebook. So I hope those two videos will be helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one.